Hi everyone, today I'm going to tell about reasoning, types of reasoning and prepositions. Please subscribe my channel so that you can view all the latest videos related to this. So let's get started. So what is reasoning? Reasoning, basically you have some facts, given facts, and from those facts you're gonna derive the conclusions. So that is called reasoning. Reasoning is called deriving logical conclusions from the given facts. So there are many types of reasoning. So let me explain you one by one. The first one is deductive reasoning. What is deductive reasoning? Deductive reasoning, basically it is based on rules. That means you are knowing some information, little information, and from that known information you are gonna deduce new information. Okay, let me tell you some examples. For example, as you can see here, if there is dry wood, oxygen and a spark, that means you have this information, you know that there is dry wood, oxygen and a spark. So now you can tell that there will be a fire. That means you're gonna deduce some new information. So this is called deductive reasoning. Like they have told you that the given is there is dry wood, oxygen and a spark, and we can deduce what? There will be a fire. And one more example, like all men are mortal, Socrates is a mortal man. So what we can deduce, that Socrates is mortal. So it's very easy. You can say that deductive reasoning, basically we take the known information and from that known information you are gonna deduce new information. The second reasoning is inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is based on experiences. That means you are observing everything, you have observed everything, and from that observation you are going to give the conclusions. Like suppose they have given you an example right here, that all the crows that I have seen in my life are black. That means whatever in your life you have observed is that crows, what in your full life you have seen that crows are black, but from that what conclusion you're gonna take? That all crows are black. That means this is your final conclusion. So it's very easy that inductive reasoning is based on experiences. So let's compare deductive and inductive reasoning. So inductive reasoning, as I have told you, by experience you can tell everything, and deductive reasoning you are going to take about the rules. So inductive reasoning is based on experience and deductive reasoning is based on rules. The third one is analogical reasoning. Analogic reasoning means you are going to take two situations or two things and you're going to check the similarities and the differences between them. That is called analogical reasoning. So let me tell you an example right here. For example, when you say driving a truck is just like driving a car, by analogy you know that there are some similarities in the driving mechanism. So basically, while driving a car and when you try driving a car and when you driving a truck, what you're gonna see that it's just like it's similar. Okay, maybe little much, but it's similar. So that is called you're going to take an analogy. So that is called analogical reasoning. The next is common sense reasoning. Common sense reasoning means you're gonna think about your thinking. You're gonna think according to your experiences, whatever you have seen in your life, and according to that you are going to form that. So this is called common sense reasoning. So they have told that it operates on heuristic knowledge and heuristic rules. That means based on the knowledge you have it and based on the rules you are gonna do common sense reasoning. What is non-monotonic reasoning? Non-monotonic reasoning is used when the facts of the case are likely to change after some time. That means you are seeing something, you are saying that they have given you an example right here, that if the wind blows, like if you see that the wind is starting blow, okay, then after some time you can say that the curtain will sway, or when the wind will stop blowing, then you can say the curtain should sway no longer. That means the changes are being performed, the facts are being changed after some time. Okay, suppose you are saying that it's rainy season today and you are taking an umbrella right now, but after some time maybe the rain stops and you will take the umbrella from yourself. So the time is changing, the facts are changing. That is called non-monadic reasoning. Then let me talk about logics. Basically there are two types of logic. In this lecture I'm going to tell you just about proposition logic, about the operators, okay, not about the operators, just about proposition. So let me tell you what is proposition. So it's very easy to understand. Proposition basically means its answer would be either true or either false. That means either 1 or either 0. But for easier understanding you can say that its truth value would be either true or either false. That is called proposition. So normally a proposition is named, example PQR, or you can say ABR, it's your choice, but it's normally PQR, nothing else. So propositional logic is what? It is the logic of compound statements. You are going to use Boolean connectives between them. That means between this P, Q and R you are going to use connectives. So let me take you to the next slide. So examples they have given you right here, like Ali's car is blue, or they have tell you that 7 plus 6 equals 12. That means 7 plus 6 is equal to 12. So Amjad is Ali's uncle. Each of the sentences is a proposition, not to be broken down into constituent parts. So we simply assign true say to Amjad is Ali's uncle. Like if you see 7 plus 6 is equal to 12, is it 12? Tell me just. No. So that means it's gonna false. 7 plus 6 is not 12. It is false. But Amjad is Ali's uncle, it could be true. So examples of non-propositions, that is non-propositions, okay, that is Ali's uncle. Ali's uncle. Who is Ali's uncle? Do you know who is Ali's uncle? So that is not a proposition. Proposition is basically meaningful. So as you can see here, 7 plus 4. What is 7 plus 4? They did not give you any answer. You cannot tell whether it is true or it is false. That means it is not a proposition, because proposition is meaningful. You understand? You just read it and then you can tell whether it is true or whether it is false. And the third one, that is just do it, or who's there. Who is there? Do you know who is there? Can you tell it is true or false? No. So these are all non-propositions that you can understand. So what are the proposition symbols? Propositions basically are denoted by proposition symbols such as P, Q, R, S, okay. So truth symbols are basically true, that is called as T, and false, that is called as F. So single proposition by themselves are not very interesting. So you have to use the connector between them. We need to express complex propositions or compound propositions. As you can see here, the book is on the table or it is on the chair. So this or is a connective that is going to connect two propositions. That means this could be P and this could be Q. So let me take you to the next slide. Here you can see proposition symbols. The first one, that is this one, that is called conjunction, and you say it as and. This one is called as or, and it is also called as disjunction. This one is called as implies, or you call it as implication or conditional. This is called as is equivalent, and this is also called as biconditional, and the last one is not, that is negation. So as you can see here, it is written or, that means you're gonna use this one, and here they have used if. Whenever if is written, that means you're gonna use implies or if then. So in the next lecture I'm gonna tell you about operators. So please subscribe my channel so that you can view all the latest videos related to this. Thank you.